Hello, welcome to... Oh, my Lori.
For once, it wasn't me.
Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 329. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Adriano Petty's here.
Hi.
Playing some video games as we speak.
Yeah, we are.
Tim Spence.
Hello.
And Matt Lawrence.
I am.
Top stories today include the PlayStation Store is discontinuing movie and TV purchases and rentals. I find this story kind of funny. Do you guys know anyone who's actually purchased movies or TV shows through the PlayStation Store?
No.
I did not know that was an
Cannot
option.
honestly say, yeah.
Not through PlayStation, but Xbox, yes.
Okay. Nintendo Switch, we got rumors about a larger screened version and 4K output when docked. Arizona advances a bill that would let developers skirt Apple's in-app purchases. This is kind of in league with the whole Epic Games versus Apple case that's been going on for the past many months, I guess, at this point, right? It's been quite a while since that started. And then Nvidia doesn't believe crypto mining is the reason for GPU shortages. So we're going to start with what's new. Adriano, I guess you can
Diablo
introduce your
3,
list.
Overwatch, Sea of Thieves, Hearthstone. Let's move on.
Okay.
Jeez.
Tim?
Jesus Christ. Tim, what do you have to-
It's even, it gets smaller week by week. It's the same stuff, but even less of it every week.
I haven't done anything new either. I've just been working my way through Horizon Zero Dawn. I think I'm almost done. On stream anyway. I don't think I'm gonna do any of the DLC on stream, but I might take the time to do it outside of stream. I guess people have just said it's like, oh, if you want more backstory for certain characters, then you can do the Frozen Wilds content or whatever. But they're like, oh, it takes about another 8 to 10 hours. So I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to I want to move on to something differently for stream content. So that I've played Dark Souls recently just because I had my stream incentive to be continuing my cosplay playthrough of Solaire in the game. And but aside from that, I tried playing a little bit more of Tastemaker, which I don't know if anyone remembers, but it's like the restaurant management simulator. It's kind of similar to, it's like a cross between like Overcooked and The Sims. So you try to keep up with like building a menu, and you have like characters come in and you can design and build your restaurant like from the ground up. And it's fun, but it's still very early access still. So I'm just kind of waiting on more updates, but I'm excited to keep playing that game because it's very cool. I like it a lot. And actually it was probably like one of the most indie games I've played, just because it's very like there's not a lot of people like talking about it that I've seen or like playing it, but Call Me Kevin actually like played it on YouTube, so I can only assume that's going to bring in a lot of new players.
I think I've seen him play that because I watch
Yeah.
him, but I didn't realize it was the same game. I think I've seen him play that.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think it was like people were talking about the decor, like the customers were talking about the decor or something.
Yeah, and then he ends it with like hiring like 60 people, and all of his like I didn't know that there was a limit on how many employees you could hire. So he's got like 60 employees running around this massive restaurant. But anyway, it's a fun little game, but there's not too much to it yet, so it's not super replayable. But I played it a little bit more just for the fun. But yeah, aside from that, not a whole lot. I'm not really sure what I'm going to play next either. I've been itching to get into a Zelda game again, but I've also kind of wanted to go back to Dying Light because I have it on PC, but the last time I tried to play it on my laptop, it just, for whatever reason, could not run the game even on the lowest settings. So now that I have a more powerful computer than I did in 2017 or something, maybe I'll go back and do some Dying Light in hype for Dying Light 2 coming out at some point.
Does that have an official release date? Or?
No, it doesn't. It was supposed to come out originally March of 2019, or was it 2020?
What?
I thought it was 2020.
Oh,
I
it was
don't know. I don't know
2020,
if that's
yeah.
true though.
That's what there was like, I don't know if there were rumors or they originally said like, yeah, we're thinking early 2020, and then that just like came and went and they didn't say anything, and everyone was like, is Dying Light 2 like doing anything? And they're just like, oh yeah, we're still working on it. So yeah.
that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Matt, what are you up to?
Beating some games is what I'm up to. So,
At least one of us is.
well, actually, Tim and I played Raft again. So we beat
Yeah.
Raft on stream a while ago now.
Yeah, that was
it's-
like a year ago. I think it was like early April last year.
Yeah, so it was a while, and we beat it on stream. It's early access, so they're slowly adding chapters. So we got to the chapter where I think we were on like a cruise ship or something. Beat that chapter, and now we beat the next chapter, or the next, I guess it's maybe a couple of chapters, I don't know, but we've beaten it to the end again. And in that same day, after we beat it, I hopped on my PlayStation and then went and I beat Watch Dogs Legion. So killed 2 games in one day, pretty much, which is pretty interesting. Watch Dogs, indeed, I know I kind of had some fatigue complaints about the gameplay loop in Watch Dogs, but I was exceptionally close to the end. So I think maybe that played a part in it. So, I mean, the game's fun. It was engaging all the way up until the last few levels, I'd say. And then I just personally got bored, but it's not like the quality fell off. So that was good. The ending was interesting, although this is kind of a spoiler, but kind of not. So they in my opinion, they screwed up.
It's kind of a spoiler. And
No,
kind of
okay,
not.
so this is really weird. I told Ryan this, and this is really weird. Okay, so in the game, when you highlight the menus, so you go to mission, like in the menus, you go to mission, and then there's like a section, a heading called main menu or main missions, and there's a bunch of main missions underneath, and then there'll be your side missions, and I think there might be another subheading. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But if you hover over main missions, it shows you the different characters in the game that you quote unquote need to eliminate in whatever way. So there's like the different antagonists in the game. There's like a gang leader. There's like a mercenary leader. Whatever, the list goes on. So as you go through and you complete these story arcs, they just get an X over them, right? Pretty simplistic, pretty obvious. Like once you see the first X, you're like, yep, this is what I'm doing in the game. There's a hacker group in the game called 0 Day, and 0 Day is supposed to be like a big mystery. Like, who is 0 Day, and like, are they these big evil guys, and you think they are, and like yada yada. I'm trying to not give too many spoilers away, but here's the stupid thing. Your hideout in the game is marked by the Watch Dogs logo, and underneath each of these gang leaders and whatever mercenary leaders, there's a little logo for their company or their gang. Underneath 0 Day is the Watch Dogs logo. So who is 0 Day?
Ubisoft.
No, but I mean, it's just like, I kind of looked at that and was like, okay, and then it ended up coming true.
Maybe 0 Day is in each of us,
Why would that be the
and
case?
it's the journey, not the destination, Matt.
I don't know what you're referencing.
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, glossing over that. But yeah, so I mean, to me, I think that's kind of they kind of put a spoiler in their own game. A little bit bizarre, but anyway. So there's that. And then I played a little bit of Valheim, actually. So getting into the viral hit Valheim. Pretty fun, although pretty fun, pretty good for a survival game, especially since it's early access, pretty good in that regard. Haven't found, too many bugs. For what's there has been well put together. But I don't know whether it's just because we've played survival games before, like Minecraft and stuff like this, but it's just not as revolutionary as, say, Minecraft felt. This game is a little bit more RPG-ish, though. You have skills that you earn, that you level up by using them. So you get axe skill, wood cutting skill, whatever, all these different skills. And just by doing those skills, you unlock. So you're building a character. And what's cool is, from what I can tell, you can take that character and join somebody else's game. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy the game. It's good, and it's good and all. It's just I don't know. I think maybe it just needs a little bit more. I'm more of a person in these games where I like to just sort of chillax. There's certain objectives you have to hit in this game. You have to beat these 5 bosses and blah blah blah. So you have to slowly earn stuff to find the new bosses, and then find out how to kill them, and then you level up, and then you kill them, and then hooray, and then you get new abilities because you've got a new boss and all the rest of it. But I'm just a person that likes to not really care too much about that, and I like to sort of figure out how the game mechanics work and figure out what the world is like, and then I like to just build. And there's lots of building opportunity here, but I just think there needs to be a little bit more decorative items, I suppose, for myself. But I mean, that's a nitpick. Like the game has, I have no complaints about the game as of yet, other than maybe some of the spawns and stuff like that. But all that stuff I can't really fault it for because it is early access. There's just some like weird clunkiness in some of the areas. There's like spawns are like sometimes a bit too cumbersome. Like, oh, enemy, oh, another enemy, another one. Just kind of, a little bit of balancing and stuff. But that type of stuff will probably get ironed out in early access. But the game is fun. Probably has a good future, I would estimate, which is cool, especially with so many players. I mean, that's always a good sign because that means it'll more than likely be supported and probably, hopefully, be completed to the point of coming out of early access one day, which would be cool. So Valhein's really good. It's an interesting title if you like survival games, I suppose, or just survival. I don't know, survival adventure games, whatever they call them. Definitely pick it up. It's definitely worth it. But I just wish there was a little more creative items. But small nitpick. And then I started Control this week. So, had Control because, I bought it, and then, of course, it was free on PS5 afterwards. But I'm playing the PS5 version of Control. That game is, just blatantly, that game is fucking bizarre. That game is fucking weird. Yep. It is bizarre. And I thought I screwed up. So, I started, and I was like, man, did I miss a cutscene? Did I miss something? No, it's just throws you into the shit, and the shit isn't like, a normal but yet high tension situation. It's not normal, and it's a crazy game. So that's Control. I'm enjoying it. I am finding myself not caring if I go back though, which is a little concerning.
There's a lot in that game for sure. Like even replayability wise, you can just sort of rush your way through the story and then go back with like your later abilities and stuff. And it's definitely like fun to do that. And there's even sometimes a reward for doing so. So like,
yeah, I found like, so the game is interesting. I don't know how to describe it. The game is interesting in that like the shooting mechanics don't feel all that good, in my opinion.
What are you playing it on?
On PS5.
PlayStation? Yeah.
So I don't know. The shooting mechanics don't feel all that amazing, which is fine. But the enemy types don't have like a ridiculous amount of variation yet. Anyway, at this point. But yet, like it. What's weird is I guess what I'm saying is like there's these mixed portions or this mixed, I don't know, quality maybe I'm getting from this game where I'm seeing like super good, really bizarre scenes that are well, I don't know, choreographed or whatever, well directed, whatever you want to say. The effects are cool, it's creepy, it's interesting, it's intriguing, it's a very well put together scene, especially when you interact with these things called the objects of power. It's just really cool. They're just artifacts in the game. And like, from what I can tell at this point. And, like, it's just interesting. But then the game is like, okay, like, you need to go turn on, like, there's a part where you just have to turn on this big generator. And so you, like, go into a room, pick up these batteries, and, like, plug them in. And so the game kind of, like, goes into this cheat mode. I don't know if that's, like, fair to say, but it's almost like the game goes into this, like, cheat mode where you're just sort of like, yeah, and it's like, do some gameplay. Now back to, like, a really cool, weird, strange, and, like, intriguing directed scene. So, like, I really want to see those scenes, and the game's interesting enough, but the gameplay hasn't, like, I'm not like, hell yeah, I love, throwing stuff around in Control, or, like, I just love the shooting, or I love the cover mechanics. It doesn't feel that way, which is a little disappointing to me, but the story is certainly interesting. You can definitely get Alan Wake vibes for the obvious reason, and I really liked Alan Wake back in the day, but I almost feel as though, I mean, just remembering Alan Wake, I haven't played it in years, and I think we played it on our channel like years ago now even, but like years after its release even. But like, I just feel like the gameplay hasn't evolved much from Alan Wake, which is a little annoying to see. Like, for example, one of the things is like,
how
okay.
far are you into this game?
Me? I've turned on the generator.
Because if I recall, Alan Wake, you kind of just have a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
This game, you have like a ton of different superpowers and a gun that can transform into like 6 different weapons.
So, okay, yeah, so that's what I was about to say. So, one of the depths of the game that make it more deep than Alan Wake isn't actually, at least unless I fucked up, it wasn't explained to me. Now, maybe I was supposed to talk to my employees more, or whatever the hell they are, or my colleagues more. But like, I just like was randomly, I was walking around and I picked something up and it was like weapon mod. And I was like, weapon mod. I'm like, I guess I can just use that later. And then I did something and it was like 3 ability points. I was like, ability points? The hell? And then I just
What kind of
realized.
game am I playing?
Well, no. So the weird thing is like I went through the whole section and then I came back and I remembered I was like, oh, there's this one like fast travel point. That like at this point in the game is the main one, and it had. I noticed that it said, fast travel, but it also said outfits, so I could change my outfit out, presumably. But the other fast travel points only had fast travel, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll go back there. Maybe there's something else I can do there, because I had explored the menu and I found out, oh, I can indeed apply abilities to myself and make myself more powerful. And then I went into my other menu, my equipment menu, was like, oh, damn, I can actually make my gun better. So I want to go back and like try like play more now that I understand that, but it's just the game to me felt like really, really shallow for most of what I've played, and then I've only done one small section with like actually some abilities and some guns. So like I think that I don't know, it's just strangely not explained. I don't know whether you guys felt like that. Like I had no idea you could level up in this game, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, what the hell?
I will say that when I did my playthrough on stream, found the weapon mods to be, and the player mods, like weapon mods and player mods, to be largely not impactful. Like they didn't change up the gameplay at all. For the most part, they were just kind of like, this is, this mod makes this ability last 19% longer. Or, it's always like percentage based. It wasn't like new ability or anything. It didn't change the gameplay up at all. But that being said, like what did really make that game feel different were the different abilities, and like you get an ability later on in the game that really changes how you like maneuver around locations, beyond just like being able to jump and stuff. And that also really like opened up different areas, because then I was thinking like, okay, now with this ability, like if I go back to previous areas, it was kind of like Metroidvania-y in a way, where it's like, oh, now I've got this new ability, like how will this apply in places I've already been? So that was definitely very cool in that game. But yeah, as far as like leveling up or using any of the mods, literally everything is just like, there are very few things in the skill trees that give you new abilities. Most things are just like, this is now 20% more effective, or does 10% more of the thing that it does. And for those kinds of skill trees in games, I typically really dislike them, because it's just like, I would rather a skill tree give me skills, not just be more numbers for my number screen efficiency kind of thing,
Numbers go up.
Yeah, I don't care.
I will say that like my first group of like my first time finding that I could level stuff up, I had a group like almost like a nest egg of ability points, and like leveling them up, even though it was a nest egg, it wasn't that big. So leveling it up, the health and stuff, whatever, a few times was nice, but I can definitely see how like I don't even notice it now. Like in the beginning, you only kind of get shot at by like, I don't know, handguns or whatever it is, maybe some automatic guns, and then like later on, like rockets were like literally killing me or very close to killing me in one hit. Now that's kind of gone, so it's sort of like I've leveled past that, and I can see what you mean, like maybe past that first little piece that I've done now, unless the weapons get way crazier. Like I don't care about raising my health too much. Like it doesn't feel like I definitely need it. It's just nice to have like, oh, I get hit by a rocket, I'm not just gonna like have to restart,
That was probably like, as far as like percentage wise increases to pre-existing stats, having a little bit more health was probably the most helpful. Like it just made it like, oh, now these strong attacks don't kill me in one hit.
What I will say too, though, is like it's interesting. Like when you mentioned the I don't know what you call them, skills. I guess the abilities, like not the stat based ones, but like the new things, like new skills, like jumping or whatever. Like I can double jump now or something, or some damn thing. But like I found what was kind of cool is like the building in this game is super cool. And I remember like walking into this random room because it was just like blocked off. So I just like naturally walked by. I didn't think anything of it. But then I realized later, I was like, oh wait, it's only blocked off by like a little tiny construction sign. So I kind of like ripped that away. But I walked in and there was this weird, I don't know, fungus maybe, some sort of fungus on the walls. And as I approached it, it like started to kill me. So I tried a couple things, couldn't get it to go away, and was like, oh, this is, probably one of these areas where I would have to get some sort of whatever it is to be able to go through this area. Whether it be a different weapon to blow it away or some sort of different ability to not be affected or whatever it is. But So I can see that's cool, but like I definitely need one good play session with all that I've learned at this point in order to get through it.
I think you need to play further too, because there are a ton more abilities that really kind of change up the gameplay.
Yeah, I've been doing this game in shorter play sessions for sure, which is like a little bit different than what I normally do with games. So like I might be thinking like, oh, I've done 3 play sessions, I should be into it, but in reality I've only realistically done like one long one in relation to how I usually play. So I need to at least get one, probably one like good long session with everything that I have and that I've learned, and I'll probably slowly get into it. But I like it. Like I'm not complaining like about the quality necessarily. It just, I don't know. The gameplay just kind of felt wishy-washy, but I need to try it with the weapons and stuff.
Cool. Oh, Matt, we were also playing Call of Duty Mobile.
Oh man, yeah. There's something weird going on in that game, man. I was MVP. This is not a joke. I am horrible at Call of Duty. I want to be like clear. Horrible at Call of Duty. Bad at Warzone. Bad at Call of Duty. Terrible. Just whatever. I have been MVP in every single Call of Duty mobile round that I've played recently. We decided to go and play ranked, and I'm MVP in every single one of those, and by a large margin. Not by
There
1 or
you
2
go,
kills,
Matt.
by like 30 kills.
See, I keep telling you, you try hard enough and you believe in yourself, you'll eventually get there.
Well, this is with digital sticks too. This is all with digital controls. I
There
don't
you
even use a
go.
controller.
You found your calling.
But the thing is I told Ryan about it. Ryan goes and logs in, and Ryan has experienced the same thing.
I was going to say, Ryan goes in and he's the bottom of the leaderboard.
But the weird thing is Ryan, like, you agree, right? Like, what the hell's going on?
Pretty much every match, like a standard team deathmatch is like first team to kill 50 of the other team, right? Almost every match, I kill at least 30 to 40 people.
Yeah, I'm like 25 to like 35, let's say.
I mean, it's mobile, right? You're probably killing like 5-year-olds that have dad's phone.
That's the only thing I can think of. I have encountered a few other people who are as good as me and Matt.
See, I haven't. That's the weird thing. I get what you're saying. Like, especially Fortnite Mobile, I tried that out, and there was definitely like, you know, little kids that are just kind of like knocking down trees. So like whatever. But you know, there are good Fortnite Mobile players. What's bizarre is I've only experienced one quote unquote good COD Mobile player that killed me 5 times in a row, and he only got 7 kills the whole round. I got like 31. So he's not actually that great.
I'm really enjoying this too, and it might just be because we're finally good at a Call of Duty. But it also plays really nicely. I'm surprised
it's a good COD game.
With the digital controls as well. I'm surprised how much I am enjoying the actual gameplay.
Does it have any controller support? Can you connect it?
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Even on iPad.
It looks pretty
maps?
good too.
Do you like the old maps, Ryan? Like all the COD, there's a bunch of the COD 4 maps, a bunch of the Black Ops maps.
Yeah.
It's great.
I started playing ranked, and I'm wondering if that, once I get my placement matches done, if things might get more difficult, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of making my way through that right now. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's really surprising.
It's one of those mobile games that is absolutely overfilled with mobile game tropes, like log in and do this, check out this thing. Like when you log in, it's like 6 pop-ups show up, and it's like log in here, check your daily thing, grab this every day.
Is it one of those menus where you have a hard time focusing on where you're actually supposed to look?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like Zoomer Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But
oh no.
But the thing is like if you get into a match, it's just COD. It's just Call of Duty on a phone.
Yeah. Yep.
That should be the tagline. It's just Call of Duty
on a phone. Try COD Mobile today.
I also like the there's 2 different like gameplay modes, and there's one where like as soon as you fire, your character will like look down the sights immediately. You don't actually actively have to hit look down sights button.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to work really well, actually.
I use that too, yeah.
As long as you have enough ammo, I guess, in your gun that you don't run out by the time you get your reticle onto someone. But that doesn't seem to be an issue. Here's the really weird part is whenever I run out of ammo, you switch to your knife. You can literally run up and kill these people with knives.
Yeah, the other players that we're encountering are bad, like beyond bad.
Yeah.
Like it's embarrassing. That's actually.
Maybe they just don't have good phones. Like maybe the vast majority of the market doesn't have a good enough phone to run it.
They're playing,
That's a fair point. Although there are graphic settings. You can turn them up and down.
They're probably playing it on like a Nokia 5910 or something like that.
The hell's a 5910?
The old Nokia phones.
You mean
the bricky ones?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I did play it on my iPad too, Matt. I finally got that going.
How was that?
That one's probably not best for digital controls just because of the way they're spaced out. Like when I want to activate a kill streak,
Mm-hmm.
I have to take my hand off the iPad to press that button because it's so far into the center, right?
iPad probably be best with a Bluetooth controller.
Yeah, so I might hook up like a DualShock 4 to it and take it for a spin.
Pretty good.
So, other than that, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Y.
Oh yeah.
And
So,
why have you
3DS?
been playing that?
I got excited after seeing some of the Pokemon announcements. I got nostalgic, and I said, I want to go play
Why
a Pokemon game.
not?
So I looked up Pokemon games on the Switch, and they were $79, and I said, no way. And I remembered that I have
A 3DS.
a
A
2DS
Wii U.
with
2DS.
Pokemon Y still in it. And so I thought I'd boot that up and start playing that because I'd never beaten it. I played it maybe like an hour and then just never touched it again. And I've actually played like 6 hours this time, so I've been actually enjoying that. I've been playing it kind of before I go to sleep.
I liked Y actually. That generation. I played X. It was the first game in a long time that I had bought, but I also like played it all the way through and I didn't have any problems with it at all. Like I tried playing Black and White and I got to maybe like the third or fourth gym and I just put it down and I didn't play Pokemon until maybe like probably 6 months after X and Y came out, and I picked up X and I really, really enjoyed it. It rekindled my I guess like adventurous Pokemon spirit and wanting to like actually go out and catch a bunch of different Pokemon and make a cool team and like explore the world and find all the secrets and stuff. And yeah, it was a good generation. That's the one generation. So one of our friends, one of my friends from like way back being a kid, his name's Reed. He always really wanted to find a shiny Pokemon, but he never could. And for whatever reason, when I was a kid playing Pokemon games, I had like absurd luck with shinies. I found a shiny in, I believe, if not every generation that I've played, damn near close. I found a shiny Pokemon in almost all of them. And I was literally sitting next to him playing that game one day when I found the shiny in that game that I found. And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Wow.
Because he'd been like wanting one for as long as they've been a thing. And he was really pissed off at my luck finding shinies in Pokemon games. But I found a shiny Doduo in that game. And then since then, for all those who are on the edge of their seat wanting to know, he has since found a shiny. I think it was a Ghastly, which is one of his favorite Pokemon, so that's cool. But yeah, I enjoyed my time playing Y, or X rather. And it was I don't know, it's cool. It's just a good like kind of classic Pokemon experience.
Well,
What?
I was gonna,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say now I'm an old ass Pokemon, and
You're an old
The last-
Pokemon?
I'm an old ass Pokemon.
Okay.
The last Pokemon game I had played prior to this was Pokemon Gold,
Oh dang.
like the original Pokemon Gold,
Yep.
right? Playing this game, it doesn't seem like Pokemon has changed too much.
I think certain games they tried different things. Like I think that's kind of because with Pokemon, right, being as popular as it is, they don't want to change too much from the old formula.
But it's like
Um,
it's like everything's exactly the same. It's like almost identical. Even the music is the same, which is like insane to me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they've had the same 2 composers for Pokemon this whole time. I'm pretty sure.
But they can't write a new song for the battle sequences, or
I mean, the
you
battle.
know?
I mean, when you listen to the music back to back, it's definitely different. Like they're not they're not the same.
Oh, they're updated. It's the same.
I mean, and to an extent, some people, the composers probably want to keep sort of the same
Anyway,
spirit of the
it's
games.
just,
For that, maybe not quite the nostalgia factor, but like kind of
Yeah.
the brand thing and like the spirit of Pokemon games and stuff. But I don't know. I think I think overall, like now they're with not trying to change like too much of the core Pokemon formula. They try to add like the Z or like the Mega Evolutions or the Z moves or whatever like thing they add.
Sure,
Whatever
yeah.
generation it is. There's that one thing that they change.
one of the. Go ahead.
But no, that was pretty much my thought.
Well, yeah. One of the things other than that I noticed that was new was like team battles where you have two people on the same team fighting each other.
Mm-hmm. Double battles, and then I think
and then
X
like
and Y. No, Black and White added triple battles, like rotation battles.
And then like you can encounter like a group of like 5 Pokemon in like in the woods or
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is new, but I'm just amazed at how similar this is to Gold, based on my memory of it. Right, I haven't played Gold since it came out.
I bet you
but
if you
it's
went
even
back
like-
and played Gold now, you'd be like, oh, maybe this isn't that similar.
I
Because
think
like there's a
it
lot of
is-
features in the newer games that are very different.
But it's just like you're a kid, you get your first starter Pokemon,
Yep.
you go town to town to fight the gyms, and there's some evil team that's there as well.
Oh yeah, like the
and-
games are formulaic for sure.
And even like, oh, here's a cave now, and when you walk in the cave, you can discover a Pokemon anywhere, not just the tall grass. It's anywhere in the cave.
And it's always a Zubat.
Yeah, and so I think that's why I'm kind of excited for that new one, the Pokemon Arceus,
Arceus Legends.
because it actually looks like you're doing more than just the same thing
I watched
based on what little we've seen.
the donkey like 10-second review of that, and he's like, "Why does this look like it was made in Dreams on PlayStation?"
Oh.
And like when you watch back that trailer, like when you're not watching that trailer for the first time and you're kind of watching it and being like not dumbfounded by it, like, whoa, look at this like open world Pokemon game. When you actually look at it, it's like, oh, this is running really badly, and stuff at the distance is like popping in, and it's not a visual masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. It looks kind of poopy, but it's just a first trailer for this like kind of different.
I think
Pokemon
they sold
game,
me
so.
more on the vibe of that.
Yeah,
with the music and stuff.
Yeah, the fact that it's like kind of open and people are calling it like Catch of the Wild because it's like it looks like Breath of the Wild but Pokemon.
How's
and, like,
Breath of
just
the
the fact
Wild,
that you
Ryan? Sorry, go ahead.
Kind of like run all around and just catch, but like literally throw a ball. Like you aim and throw the ball, and if you hit a Pokemon with it, like you try to catch that Pokemon. It's kind of interesting. I like the time period that they seem to kind of be pulling from.
That's cool. Yeah.
Still playing Breath of the Wild?
I played it for like half an hour while like on PlayStation with Matt and Marty.
All right, let's go to the stories.
The first story up here we have so the PlayStation Store is discontinuing movie and TV purchases and rentals. This comes from directly from the PlayStation blog.
Whatever will I do for my digital purchases, guys? This creates so many problems.
At SIE, we strive to provide the best entertainment experience for PlayStation fans, and that means evolving our offerings as customer needs change. We've seen tremendous growth in PlayStation fans using subscription-based and ad-based entertainment streaming services on our consoles. With this shift in customer behavior, we've decided to no longer offer movie and TV purchases and rentals through the PlayStation Store as of August 31st, 2021. So if you are one of the few people who have purchased movies or TV shows, I believe you'll still be able to access them through PlayStation, but going forward, you won't be able to get any new content.
Is this PlayStation View? Is this the name of it, or what is that?
No. View was a whole separate TV service in the US. This is like an iTunes type of deal.
Okay. Does anyone have anything in their iTunes or in their PlayStation library for video stuff?
I believe Marty does.
Really?
I believe he bought Avengers Infinity War.
That sounds
on
right.
PlayStation.
Man, I have that on my Plex. You can just watch it there.
He did it more out of like wanting to see the movie again rather than I'm going to make PlayStation my one-stop destination for movies and TV shows.
I mean, it makes sense, right? To an extent, if like you use your PlayStation as your entertainment thing. to just have everything right there.
Yeah, but at PlayStation 4 now, especially, I don't even know where they are with the apps on the 5, but PlayStation 4, they have everything I need now on there. Like with Disney
I'm
Plus
pretty sure
added.
PS5 does too.
Okay, so like, do they have a Crave one on PS5 yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. So like, in the last year, the apps have really started to roll out on PlayStation, and now I love booting up my PlayStation, just having everything there. I can jump from YouTube to Plex, Disney, Crave, or whatever, insert whatever, and then just I can dip over to YouTube and watch something, or Twitch to watch some video game stuff. And I'm quite happy with the app selection, so yeah, I won't need or miss the PlayStation option at all.
I think a lot of people won't. A lot of people don't rent or buy, right? They just kind of use the streaming services. So that's definitely part of it. But it'll be interesting to see like when these like purchasing services go away, what we're left with. Like we're going to be left with like the same thing we had in the 90s where it's not on any of the like the streaming services, but back then it was like, it's not on any of the channels, then I guess we can't watch this.
Yeah, but just super ironic though is with all these streaming services, ever since Apple had released an app on PlayStation, I've been very fast and loose with my purchases. Like I've bought stuff more often through iTunes because I just know I can watch it there immediately.
I kind of feel like the only place left to buy things at the end of the day is going to be like Google and Apple.
Yeah.
And
Microsoft
all these, like,
has
little smaller.
I suppose, but Microsoft has one. But here's the thing, though: if like who boots up their Xbox to watch something, and then if I'm on my PC,
a lot of people do.
Yeah, but if I'm on my PC, I have my iTunes purchases, so like, I'm just going to watch it there anyways.
Yeah, but you can, if you're on your PC, you can watch your Xbox purchases.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is like as
far as I know, anyway.
For like me personally, and I imagine this is probably pretty widespread. You got your PC, you have a better distribution system, iTunes, and if you're using a box, you're likely not using your Xbox to watch something. So, like that slim Venn diagram of finding those people in between there that work.
Well, I think you're right on the apps perspective, but the thing is I don't think people are buying a box and an Xbox. Like I don't have a Roku for myself, just like kicking around. Like if I need a box, I'm just going to use like my Xbox or my PlayStation. Now I do have a Chromecast because I want to be able to cast stuff from my phone, but the Chromecast itself is not standalone.
Yeah, but Matt, how out of the Xbox and the PlayStation, which one do you use more often?
Probably even.
Really?
Well, because it's like this: if I'm playing on Xbox and like we're done playing, and then like I'm gonna go watch Netflix, I'm not gonna go boot up my PlayStation. I'm just gonna go in the Netflix app.
I was gonna say, when you refer to watching things on your Xbox, do you mean like things you bought on the store, or just using it as a box to like browse Netflix or YouTube or whatever?
Just Netflix or YouTube, which is why I think like Adriana was right in the fact that the streaming apps are taking over for sure. But I'm just saying that like the Xbox and that are still very viable in that they are people's main entertainment thing. Still.
Yeah. It's just if I don't I think the Xbox One is probably going to stick around for a bit just because like it there is a like Windows has a presence on a PC, so if they have it on PC, they're probably going to have it on their Xbox, so it makes sense for them to keep it around. But
I forgot about Amazon too, though. You can buy movies on Amazon.
Amazon as well. There are options. There are digital streaming services with libraries. There are platforms that have all the movies available for streaming, and they're locked. And your unlocks are based on your library card. Like the libraries around North America license out their inventory or their licenses to this streaming app. And when you sign up, you put in your card, then you have your selection available.
Matt, you said you bought something on Xbox. Why was that?
No, I haven't. No, not me. I know, like our friend Nate, he uses it for rentals and such. I don't know if he's
like.
Well, I mean, I don't like really check in on like his whatever he's watching, but like, I mean,
you're not
like
policing what he's watching every 24/7.
No, I don't check that often, but like, he's like mentioned like, whatever movie just came out to home release, I better rent it, and then he just like mentioned he was going to rent it on his Xbox.
Yeah.
Like It just like to him is like a reflex, I guess.
Yeah, and rental's probably a little bit, safer. Like you're not locking in a purchase, so God forbid something goes belly up with a service, you're not going to lose it because it's not yours to begin with. But
a funny thing is, I don't use my PlayStation or my Xbox. I will turn off my PlayStation and go to my Apple TV when watching something.
That makes sense for you, though, right?
There is a reason. It's not just because of brand loyalty. It's just inside the Apple TV app, it tracks what you're watching all in one place across different services. And so I like having what I'm watching tracked in one location.
Mm.
And I believe that a similar service is coming to Google. The heck do they call it? I can't remember, but it's a similar thing coming to their Chromecast soon. And you should definitely try it out, Matt, because it's really nice and pretty handy.
You probably need Android, or was it Google TV or whatever the heck it's called now?
I don't think so. It's just, at least on the Apple TV, it's a free service. Like, this isn't part of Apple TV Plus. It's just the way the Apple TV app works.
No, but what I mean is, like, I have a Chromecast, but I have to cast from my phone.
You don't have an operating system. Like
I don't have a remote for my for my regular Chromecast.
Right.
No.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
I do use that Apple option, like where it'll show you where to watch something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually just boot up the Apple TV. Like it will show me my Apple TV app when SNL has hit the iTunes store every week, like the new episode.
For me, it's global.
It's global. So what happens is, but like my Apple TV says, hey, it's available for purchase on iTunes. And what I do is like I click into it, and then it'll say right beside it, say it's available for purchase iTunes. And then it's also available in the global app. So then I know to go into the global app to actually boot it up.
All right, moving on here. A new Nintendo Switch has been reported with a larger screen, 4K output, and when docked. This comes from IGN, but the report is by Bloomberg. So it'll be a larger touchscreen, possibly coming out in time for the holidays. This 7-inch touchscreen will be 720p resolution, which I believe the original Switch also is.
720, yep.
But this will just be a little bit larger, and it'll be an OLED panel as early as June 2021.
Is it still removable Joy-Cons? It's not like
as far as I can tell from the report, it's like the same console, okay. But instead of having like the bigger bezel around the screen, it will be like kind of right to the edge.
So there's a lot of like, as far as I was aware, this is all just still rumors, right? Like,
yes, 100%.
Nothing is confirmed.
100% rumors, yeah.
Just because a lot of reports are saying like it's going to have this, it's going to have that, and I haven't seen a whole lot of information like conflicting with other reports. But just like as a disclaimer, this is all still speculation. Like nothing is confirmed.
There's been a weird uptick in outlets like saying confirmed when it's just a rumor.
What the hell?
Rumors are confirmed. Asterisk. This is still a rumor. Like,
so we have a confirmation that a rumor has been stated somewhere.
That's right, by someone at any given time.
Yeah. There's been some controversy over the resolution, but at that screen size, like 720p, you'd hardly notice the difference.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Like, I'm just thinking of trying to play like Breath of the Wild, like when I first got the Switch, and I was like, I can't believe how good the resolution is on this screen. And then like playing Mario Kart 8 on my Switch or whatever, when it's docked, it's still like, I guess it's like upscaled to 900. It's not quite 1080, but it still looks as good as like a 1080 display.
Yeah, IGN did a really nice article on this, like defending 720p, and they were saying like, this has a higher DPI than a 27-inch 1440p monitor. So that's just to give you kind of a comparison there. That DPI is kind of more what matters than actual, strict resolution.
The people forget that resolution is not a measurement of quality. It's actually used. It's a measurement. It's a unit of measurement. Like it is. Mm-hmm. It is a distance in which to measure something, not quality.
And for those at home who don't know what DPI is, I mean, I obviously know, but just for the people at home, what is DPI, it's, Ryan?
Dots per inch, but I mean, you could also call it pixels per inch. So it's the amount of actual physical pixels per square inch of a display.
It's the density of pixels.
Yeah.
per given unit of space on the
Yes.
screen.
Yeah.
Which obviously, when you say it like that, anyone would agree if they kind of understand these things. If you've got, if you want more image fidelity in any given space, you'll want higher DPI rather than higher resolution.
Yeah.
Everyone would agree on that. Yeah.
I would still like a 1080p display, just on a like a personal level.
Just so it's
I
the
think it would
same
just make
as
it-
your
it
other
would just-
things.
Well, it just make it a little more crisp. The text would look a little more crisp. You know, it would just be a little more higher quality.
I don't know if it matters on a screen that size though, does it?
It probably doesn't, and 1080 would also be more power inefficient. You know,
Mhm.
and obviously battery is really important for a mobile handheld.
Mhm.
The OLED is also going to be saving energy as well. OLEDs can turn off individual pixels when they're not needed, so you get like really dark blacks, and that can help save battery life as well. So,
You know who patented that technology? BlackBerry.
did they really?
I don't know, but they were the first piece of hardware that I remember. Instead of just trying to like display, have a pixel display black, they would just turn the display off.
I remember that. Yeah,
that pixel.
I remember using. I think it was on my Q10.
That was on the Q10 and the
Oh,
Z10.
remember that?
Yeah.
Remember those sexy side wheels?
I'm not that old of a BlackBerry user. Sorry.
I forget all the time that I had a BlackBerry.
Hell yeah, you did.
But that was a pretty good phone. It's a pretty damn good phone. It's just a shame that the keyboard like fucked up and just every time I hit the I key, like rubbed my thumb along the I key, the physical keyboard, it would hit it like 4 times.
Oh Jesus!
But for the 2 years that I had that phone, that was a great phone.
Everyone like standing in a circle holding out the BBM code, and everyone else is like scanning it.
Did you use
Oh,
a BlackBerry, Geronimo?
I had a one for a short period of time.
I didn't know you did. Because I was gonna say, like, how the hell did you know about the scroll wheel? Because I actually forgot about those.
Scroll wheel, and then it went to the center wheel,
trackball.
like the
Trackball,
ball, and then
yeah.
it went to the trackpad, like the little
Trackpad.
square pad.
It advanced quickly, like to be
Yeah.
fair, because I only missed that by like 2 years or a year.
I like Blackberries were so goddamn popular at one point. I remember like people like news outlets were covering celebrities when they got their BlackBerry. Like I remember specifically like oh, Jennifer Aniston's out on town. She leaving the shopping mall, and she's holding her new BlackBerry, and like she's like getting it set up and ready to go. I'm just like, oh, holy like.
Oh wow, Jennifer
Really-
Aniston. Oh.
Really fucking love their BlackBerry.
I will say that I really liked my BlackBerry. My Android, I'm just sort of like, it works.
It's a phone.
Yeah, it's like, it's a
Yeah,
phone.
there was a certain charm to the BlackBerry.
Yeah, it just felt really good for some reason. It felt well built.
Motorola Razor.
Oh, and there's a classic.
I never had a
We're
flip
such
phone.
millennials. Our Motorola Razors. Good phone though.
You can get a new one. Folding
It's true.
phone.
Oh man, I do not want moving parts on a phone.
I'm actually thinking that might be my next phone is like a Galaxy Fold. Phone and a tablet, all in one.
I'm worried I might buy this new Switch if it comes out.
But Ryan,
So,
why?
yeah, go.
Because a big barrier to me playing my Switch is because I can't dock it.
But I told you that when you bought their Switch
I know,
Lite, and
everyone
you argued
should have
with me
told
for like
not to buy
no,
a
you
Switch
switched
in general.
I did, and then you argued with me for like 2 days because you're like, I think I'm gonna buy the Switch Lite, and I was like, you're gonna want to put it on your TV, and you're like, no, you're not, and I'm like, you're not gonna use it anyway, but if you do use it, you're gonna want it on your TV, and you argued, well, I don't want to use it, I know I'm not gonna use it, so I'm gonna buy the Switch Lite, and I said, I don't think you're gonna use the Switch Lite because it's too small.
Matt, don't try to reason with this. He
No,
bought a Series X, knowing that like he's not going to play anything on it. And
I bought it for the future potential.
The future potential, you could have just bought it in the future. Come on, bud.
Yeah,
I know
for
games
cheaper.
are going to come out for it. I know that's going to happen.
That sounds like me when I used to buy games for my Steam library. Oh, I know I'm going to play it someday, so I'll just buy it now because I can,
Yeah.
and then I never ended up playing it.
yeah,
Did you have a regular, like an OG with a dock Switch, Ryan? Or did you buy
Never,
the Switch
no.
Lite? Okay.
I Switch Lite was my first one.
So don't feel too bad then, because one of my friends bought a Switch when they came out, and then he realized he like was never really hooking up to his TV. So he's like, I really like the Pokemon Switch Lite, so I'm gonna trade in my Switch and get a Switch Lite. and now that the new Monster Hunter Switch is coming out, he wants to get a Switch again with a dock. So he's going to trade his Switch Lite in and then pay the difference back for the Monster Hunter Switch.
Oh my
because
god.
he started streaming now too, and you can't stream games on your Switch Lite because the Switch Lite can't connect via HDMI to a TV.
Just the EB salesperson that's dealing with him is like, what the fuck is this person doing?
You know what the best part is? Too?
Trading Switches like
The best part is that he used to work at EB with me, so he knows that it doesn't make sense.
How much money he's just pissing away on the trade.
Yep. It's okay though because he's an Onyx member and he gets 15%.
fucking Onyx member.
Yeah, boy.
I think I still have my card somewhere for that.
My perpetual platinum card that just you shop there once and you get a platinum card.
One last thing for this story. A lot of people are wondering whether Nintendo actually needs to come out with this because the Switch is currently selling like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this just a way to kind of keep things fresh and keep up that momentum?
Well, see, when these rumors started to come out, I was like, we don't know if these are confirmed or denied. Like Nintendo hasn't said anything about it. It's all speculation, but there's industry people that are saying one thing or another, and it's like, when is the time to buy a Switch? Like people would always come into the store and ask me like, oh, like when are they going to put the Switch on sale? And I would always say, well, they're not because they're selling out at full price. So why would Nintendo bother putting it on sale? And so then it's like, oh, do I get one now? Do I wait for the Switch Lite to come out? Do I wait until there's like rumors are confirmed about this like Switch Pro, wait till that one comes out? Or do I just buy one now because there's games now that I want to play? And it's like, it would just be nice if Nintendo would be like, this is a thing or this isn't a thing. Because for the people that want to buy a Switch right now, it's like, you could just get a sale right now if you said it's not a thing. Or if you say it is a thing, then you guarantee a sale later. So it's like, why keep these people in the dark? And I guess there's no such thing as a guaranteed sale later. I don't think anybody that like works in retail will say, oh yes, I always have somebody promise that they'll come back to buy something from me, and then they do. Like any salesperson who's ever worked in sales for a significant amount of time will tell you that's not a real thing.
Well, how about this too, right? Like we're talking a lot about the screen. What if this is actually sort of like a DS to 3DS or something, where it's like actually an upgrade? Like what if it's an internal upgrade and we haven't heard?
It probably is.
Well, because it has 4K output, but I mean, It has 4K output, but like the power can proportionally go to the point where it can do 4K, and then the games won't actually run better or something, right? Like, I mean, there might be some oomph, but not enough for like an actual generational upgrade. What if this is actually like a Switch Pro, but like not even a Pro? Like, what if this is almost like a Switch 2?
And that's what other rumors are saying, right? Like, is it a 2? Is it just an upgrade? Like, what is it?
I think we would hear more details about it if it was a Switch 2.
But
it
kind of sounds like just the
upgrades. It just sounds like a Switch upgrade.
Well, it kind of sounds like just the panel. Like, I mean, obviously there's more stuff but we've talked quite a bit about the screen, and it's like it kind of just sounds like the screen information has leaked. I mean, who knows what the circuitry on this thing is? Like, what if it's quite literally effectively a Switch 2, but the reason why it's so close is because like anything that leaks, maybe it's like, I don't know, no marketing material to my knowledge has leaked or anything, but like I've seen renders and stuff and everyone's like comparing it to the Switch because it will run everything like the Switch, but maybe there's going to be specifically Switch Pro games or whatever. Like this is literally a new console to sort of quote unquote answer the PS5 and stuff, even though they don't really do that. But like maybe it is to be like, oh, well, our competitors are really far beyond us. We should probably do at least something. Isn't the original Switch using or was using like the first Nvidia Shield chipset or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Like that's fucking old, man. Like people were buying Nvidia Shields when I was in college.
The Nintendo publishes games on the Nvidia Shield in Japan.
Whoa. Like it's old. Like it's an old. Like the first Nvidia Shield, which I think there might be more than one, but the first one is freaking old, man. Like,
yeah, but they want to keep the price down too, though. They can't be using like high end like Qualcomm chips or something like that.
I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna match the PS5. But I'm just saying, like Tim's right in that I would be holding off because it's like if I don't care about 4K output, that's one thing. But what I would probably care about 4K output and having some games only work on the Switch 2 or Switch Pro or whatever it's going to be called.
So they can resell you all the old games again?
Well, I would hope that the account just carries over now, but who knows?
It should. But what would they actually call this? If they had Switch, and then this one, the other one was Switch Lite, a play on Light Switch. What should they call this one? Switchboard.
What did they call the
Switchback.
We had
Switchback.
We had this. What do we have? We had the DS, and then what do we have? We had the DSi. No, that one won't work. I was gonna
DS,
say maybe
the DSi, the 3DS, the DS
3D.
Lite, the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the new Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS XL,
2DS.
the new Switch 4K Lite I.
Just when we started talking about this segment, Ryan, and you said the new Nintendo Switch, I was like, they better fucking not call it the new Nintendo Switch.
They
It might
just
just be
shit
the
a
new
brick.
Switch. It
They
might just be the new Switch.
It
Yeah,
might just be
they-
the new Switch. Yeah.
They might just do that. That's what they did when they did like the battery revision, and they didn't like do an upgraded kit on that. They literally distinguished the new battery, like the better battery, from the color of the box. They changed it from like the trim on the box went from black to red, and you just needed to know to go get that red one instead of the black one, and then you got a better battery. Like there was no.
I like that there was no
fine.
marketing around that either. It was just like, I remember when we got those in, I was like, okay, the box is red now, I guess. Does that make it's better? I don't know.
This does happen
yeah.
with like phones and stuff though too. Is they just do like a hardware revision internally, but it's usually so small that it doesn't matter. It'll be like, oh, like the bezels of this, I don't know, let's make this up. The bezels of this phone used to chip because the glass went right to the edge. So we added a small like plastic bumper around it so that like if you put the phone down on an angle on a table, it'll hit the plastic and not there. But like they're still just going to be called, whatever phone in the box. You're never going to know, and then you open it and be like, "Oh, I see." Like, but it would be such a small change, Like it'd be like you would have to either have owned the phone for a while and notice it, or be in the industry. Like with the Switch, like I have the old Switch. If I bought the other one, I might notice the battery life, but like that's it. I wouldn't notice performance probably or anything.
All right, moving on to our next story here. This kind of goes with the story we've been following for a while now. Apple and several other companies have been scrutinized for their potentially anti-competitive rules regarding their app stores and the power they control over markets. So there was a bill in Arizona that got passed by the Arizona House of Representatives. Bill HB 2005. This comes from MacRumors. So the bill would provide developers with an alternative to Google and Apple's in-app purchase options by allowing developers to use their own payment solutions within apps. So since it passed the House of Representatives in Arizona, it will go on to the Arizona Senate. Obviously, Apple and Google have been lobbying aggressively against this bill for weeks now. So it basically allows the developers to avoid Apple and Google's 15 to 30% cut that they take from all purchases made with inside those apps. This is what Epic Games has a big problem with Apple for. Apple actually gave a statement on this. They said that this would allow billion-dollar developers to take all of the App Store's value for free, even if they're selling digital goods, even if they're making millions or billions of dollars doing it. The bill is a government mandate that Apple give away the App Store. Now, if this passes, it could be the first domino in a lot of bills to happen.
I almost feel like the first domino has already happened. Like the first domino was Epic Games.
Epic?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we had to see how that case turns out, though.
Yeah, it was like the first domino has been tipped but hasn't fallen. And this is like more
Sounds like
momentum.
intro to a shitty 80s movie.
Let's
The
go.
first domino has tipped.
Let's evolve this one a little further. It's more like it's teetering and it hasn't
Jesus
tipped
Christ.
yet. All right, who's next?
The
Let's make it
domino
happen.
is teetering.
So what's
Olympus
interesting about
has
this one passing is a similar bill was defeated in North Dakota that would have done the
weird.
same thing. Now, obviously, states have different views on this. What I find weird about this whole deal is that now maybe Apple and Google control their app stores. They're They were made by those companies. Should they not have the right to charge whatever they want if you want to be in that store?
Here's my take on this. I don't agree with this bill because I agree with what you just said, but I also agree with having the ability to go to another app store. The
Now,
fact
that is
Android,
possible on Google.
right? So as I was going to say, so I am totally fine with Google's 30%, assuming that is what they charge, because you are as an app developer going to Google Play for some sort of value there, for searchability, whatever, the list goes on. But I like the ability to go like with Android and like install another app store. I think One Mobile Market was one that I used years and years ago now, and there's a few others as well. And they do, or at least they did back then, have quite a bit of apps. So I don't know, I disagree with them telling them what to do on their app. I think what they're trying to do is, this sounds to me, and this is just totally speculation, but like what I would say this is them thinking, oh, on a computer, I can download from the Microsoft store, or I can just go to the browser and download on EXE. Yeah. So because phones you don't really download apps directly, usually. Oh, then I guess we have to control the app store. I think maybe it's a misinterpretation, like in that way.
It's really I like to think of it like this. Google and Apple are potentially being told that they may have to relinquish any option to take any money off the top, but they will still have to maintain that app store at their own expense,
which is dumb. Which I don't agree with.
Which is like, when you look at it like that, it's like I have to absolutely agree with just like they have to have overhead to be able to maintain that. Like that operation alone costs money. And whether you want to argue that 30% is too much or 15 is probably closer, or 12 or whatever the ideal number is, sure, you can argue that. But to say like they get nothing, it's like, no, they have to be able to maintain that and make sure it operates, because then when they don't pump money into it because they're not getting any money and it fails, people are going to start like huffing and puffing about it and saying, hey, why doesn't this work?
Yeah, like if this bill passed, it almost seems like Apple or Google should just shut down their app stores.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't blame them if they did. Like I would. Self-sabotage is always in the back of my head.
Jesus. I think what's tricky is like, this seems like a business disagreement that they're taking to the courts.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't like that you charge me 30%, so I'm going to take you to court because of that. But that's the price of entry. You know what I mean? Well,
the thing is, though, is there is a difference in that, and that is, and I don't know how you fix this necessarily, but like with computers, Mac as well, Mac and PC, they've been sort of open since the beginning. There's been certain limitations and whatever as the years have gone on. And there's been different changes and such, but for the most part, it's like when I downloaded Audacity, I didn't get it from the Microsoft Store. I got it from the Audacity website, and I could have chose what browser I got it on, for example. And the browser didn't even come from the Microsoft Store. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's always been that openness. And with Mac, from what little I've seen of us installing different audio programs, Ryan, for a stream, before COVID, like, even Mac, whereas it seems to be lesser open. I mean, I assume it's always been lesser than that. Like, you know what I mean? They kind of want you to go to the App Store on Mac.
The whole point of Mac was to be a closed system.
Right. But yet it's still the Macintosh, the Mac Pro, doesn't matter. It's the most open of the Apple ecosystem. So like computers, desktops are like the baseline. They're like the old guys in the room, basically. Yeah. And then, but the thing is now you have these phones come out, and it's like these guys are just taking over the phone, where it's like, hey, like if I released an app on, let's just say One Mobile Market still exists, I don't know if it does, and you release an app on One Mobile Market, no one's going to find that. Mm-hmm. So like there's this weird thing around it where Google and Apple on their respective platforms have like absolute control. Now the thing is that is the same with the consoles as well. Maybe the consoles are different because they're games and blah 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 blah. But like the thing is it's like, if the PC and such didn't exist, the PC and the Macintosh didn't exist, I don't think we would even have this problem. I think people would just be like, yep, it's 30%, and that's sort of it. I think that these companies have gotten smarter, like Apple, Microsoft, etc., and been like, you know what? If we make a device and just force people to use only our products, we monetize them for life of the product. So we might as well do that. And that's what we're seeing with something like Apple and Android mostly. Like, most people don't know that they can install another app store. Most people don't use anything but Google Play.
And the developers claim that it's not easy to sideload your apps on Google, on Android.
It is, but like, I'm speaking also from a tech professional. But it is, like, I would say rather easy. It's not that bad. It's not that hard. Or at least it wasn't when I did it on my G4. I haven't done it since, but
their problem is that all these mobile users are trained to go to the app store to find apps.
Correct.
They're not going to go visit your website. So even though Fortnite, as popular as it was, people still wanted to go to the Google Play Store rather than sideload it on Android.
Yeah, that's the issue too. Is now people have been like, here's the overall thing that they've done. They release I don't know, an iPad. I don't know. Here, an iPad comes out. The iPad has the App Store on there. It has a bunch of Apple's apps on there. Yes, you can install alternatives, but from the App Store, by the way. So you notice how, like, even the alternatives to, like, Notes or email or whatever from Apple, even those default apps from Apple, like, those can be replaced effectively by third-party apps, but through the App Store. So Apple still has a foot in that. And if that hardware were to fail or have issue, you can go to a third-party guy, but that's starting to go away too. Like, they're starting to make these pieces of hardware either A, unfixable or very hard to fix, or B, only fixable, if at all, from the manufacturer. So it's like Apple or Microsoft or whoever is selling you the product has you in their grip the entire time.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to bring it to a different topic, but go ahead.
I think what the courts need to decide ahead of time before they even figure this out is if there needs to be a clear distinction between a desktop OS build versus a mobile OS build. Mm-hmm. Because, like, if the court's just going to see everything as one and deem it as one, it's going to have a hard time ruling it, because as soon as you rule in one for one thing, that has to then apply to the other platform, the other half. Because then any argument in anyone's favor can be used against them the other way around. So they have to figure out, it's like, okay, what do we consider a mobile build? What do we consider a computer build? What do we consider? Do tablets fall on which side? Is it screen size dependent? Like, so it's yeah. And
to be honest, Adriano, like, that's a good point, because I think we're at a critical point in computing, because the M1 Mac is out, which runs Apple's first chip. Yes, it's ARM, whatever, but it's Apple's chip. Apple's starting to exert control even over the components. Now, whether that's good, bad, whatever, that's up to your opinion. But the point is, it is still control. Mm. And so they could just be like, App Store only.
Yeah.
And to be honest, from a business perspective, assuming that, like, users didn't have the freedoms before, which we do have, but, like, that's just due to them being grandfathered in, kind of, they would have, like, if the iPhone came first in the way it is, then the M1 Mac, if that was the very first actual Mac, the M1 Mac absolutely would have an App Store, and only an App Store.
Correct.
100%. And I could see them starting to do that too. Like, they could potentially do that. They could start locking it down. So then they're like, hey, yeah, we'll take 30% of all Creative Cloud. Yeah, thanks. 30%. That sounds good.
Yeah, I would be fine if the solution was for Apple to offer an easy way to sideload apps. But to want to take all the value from the App Store and have sideloading apps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have both, and I think they're fighting for both, and that's where I kind of, have a pause.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So if sideloading is possible, and not through some crazy hook it into a computer and do some hack, through, like, a consumer friendly way,
any browser should be able to download the app.
Yeah, then I think that's fair. And they can even have, like, a thing that says, hey, like, this hasn't been secured or whatever. Like, even if they want to have a warning, because I'm sure they'll have that.
Apple has that on macOS, actually. If you download an app from a non-registered developer, it'll, like, warn you before you download it.
Yeah, so there you go. So, like, I mean, fair enough.
All right. Final story for the week. Nvidia doesn't believe that crypto mining is the reason for their GPU shortages. This comes from GameSpot. Nvidia CFO Colette Kress participated in the Raymond James Institutional Investors Broker Conference call, explaining that demand for the company's latest range of GPUs would have affected supply as much as it has, even if mining didn't become as profitable again as it has. And they said, our quarter for gaming, for example, probably would have been the same with or without crypto because we're supply constrained. So we'll continue to watch this. We believe that our CMP product will allow us better visibility for understanding the size of crypto within our quarter. Now, what I find weird about this is they've just announced that they're trying to cripple their graphics cards for crypto mining to try to give more supply to the gamers. So
And-
clearly some supply is being withheld from gamers for crypto mining.
Have you seen the Reddit threads where people gloat about getting like shipping containers full of video cards?
Jesus.
It's like,
See,
look at all
I
these
haven't
video
seen
cards,
shipping
and they're,
containers. Jesus.
and they're literally fucking pallets of video cards sitting on it. It's like, hey, yeah, I was able to get all these. I'm gonna have a busy couple months. Like, what the fuck,
Holy
bud?
fuck.
Yeah, it's like they have an entire criminal organization running this thing. I call bullshit on that statement.
Yeah,
Complete bullshit.
like even if they were only taking like 5% or 1%, they're still taking
Yeah,
a percentage of the supply that could go to gamers.
I don't understand. One thing I don't know much about crypto. I looked it up years ago, kind of understood it then, and then just kind of let my knowledge fade. But like, I just don't get why there isn't some sort of product made for them.
I was gonna say some sort of government regulation.
No,
to track
like-
all purchases.
No, because it's an uncentralized currency. We're not getting like that's a whole thing with crypto. But like the whole thing is I mean like why isn't there like a line of products for crypto? And why aren't the other chips useless or near useless to them?
That's what Nvidia just tried to do, though. They're basically making
they're
their
starting
gaming
now, but isn't it should have been
Yes.
obvious earlier? I would hope anyway.
Well, back when the 1080s and stuff were out, back when those were out, they ran into the same problem where crypto mining was taking off, and you couldn't buy like a 1080 anywhere,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, so you're right. It just took like 2 or 3 years later for them to finally make a dedicated mining card. And what I've heard about this new mining card is it's only good for one of the cryptocurrencies. For the other ones, it doesn't do anything for them, and so they can still use gaming cards.
Because I remember way back 2011, 2013, I don't know. Someone invited me in college. We were in college still, I think. And someone invited me, it was near the end of college, to invest in a crypto farm. And I remember back then, just this is from memory, so I might have some of this wrong, but
I'm loving where the story's going already.
no. So like I was asked to buy, and I asked them what card they were buying because I had actually just recently at that time purchased a new computer. My new computer had two 7970s and a 7950 in it, with 3 cards in Crossfire X. It was a disaster. Yes.
You had 3
Was it-
cards? I thought you only had 2.
No, I had 3
Yeah, Matt, you're a fucking war
Christ
criminal.
alive.
because the driver at the time would throw in an extra frame from the 7950 whenever a micro stutter would happen. From the top 2. That was the thought anyway, and it did work really well for a while, but it started giving me problems later on in life. But I got my money's worth from them. I used them for like 7 years or 8 years, so I'm not complaining. So anyway, but it was fun to build too. But anyway, so like the point of the matter is, what they told me at the time, because I had just, like I said, just purchased a computer. They told me we're going to be buying a bunch of 7970s, and then I remember. I didn't go into it because I didn't understand crypto. I was also in college. Like, I can't be freaking investing and stuff. And they told me they were like, I don't know, a year later, it's 8 months later, someone told me they're like, oh, we had to change our rigs and needed more investment or something like that. Or they changed the plan or whatever it was because the 7970s were useless in terms of mining. Now, whether that means they were actually useless or just reduced and the new ones were so good, or just the new ones were so good that the old ones, even though they're just as good as they were, they're no longer quote unquote good for mining. I don't know. And this was for Bitcoin at the time. But like, I'm wondering, like, what I'm wondering is like, okay, you could attract the Bitcoin, not even just Bitcoin. You could attract the whatever they are, crypto miners, sure, you could attract them with just like a mega, like really, really, really good card that is like overpriced for the consumer, I would think. But make it so that the gaming card isn't compromised for its gaming capability. But make the crypto card too expensive for the gamer, but also not good for the gamer anyway.
But I think that's the case that what they're trying to do with these new ones. But what I find odd about them making a dedicated crypto card is that if you can make more cards, make more cards.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, it's
like
yeah.
This isn't a problem. It's literally you have massive demand for your card. That's not a problem. What the solution is to increase supply. Now I understand that's hard in today's climate here with the pandemic, and also just like apparently chips and whatnot have been decimated. Another reason why the PS5 and Xbox Series X are struggling to meet demand. But even back when the 1080s and stuff were being sold out, it's like you need more production.
Yeah, there comes a point where, well, actually, let me ask you this. So I don't follow PC parts until I buy one. So let me ask you this. If I were to say, you know what, guys, I want a new desktop. So I go buy a new desktop. It's going to be, I would assume, virtually impossible to buy the latest cards. Is that
yes.
Correct? Okay. What about 1 year back?
You had to buy them used. They're not typically sold after the new cards come out.
But are they like available, or are all the ones that are used going to be like, this has been run hard because it was in a mining rig?
On eBay, they're pretty good about telling you whether it's been used for mining or not. Yeah.
So like, would it be like, if I were to say I want to buy a new computer, and I want, like, my laptop has a 2070 in it, so because my laptop's a year or something old. So let's just say I want a 2070 in a desktop now. So I want a 2070. Mm-hmm. Could I find one within reasonable ease that isn't a mining one?
Probably.
Well, I'm just on Newegg right now, and I just typed in 2080. They're going for above 2,000, which is more than they're worth.
You hate to see it. Oh my god!
No, wait a sec. Are they selling for that?
This is on Newegg. This isn't.
Oh,
like
Newegg. Sorry.
These are like whatever stock they have left of 2080s and whatnot. Because
like I don't know. I'm trying to, like, my thought is like not even fully thought out clearly, but my thought is like, should we be this is maybe crazy. Should we be holding gamers back a gen intentionally?
You not want even to just like give it all to the miners because they're all top, dickheads?
No, give the top tier. But give the top tier to the miners.
Yeah, reward the miners for scalping.
No,
I'm thinking like in a product line from their perspective, because they're not going to be able to get away. Like, Nvidia is not going to be able to stop the miners from buying them, in my opinion, or it's going to be very difficult. So what I'm trying to say is like, do you sell the miners with any improvements that they can do for mining specifically, the latest tech, and always sell the gamers a tech back, but like, it looks bad for 1 year, but then it becomes the norm.
But then
everyone would be able to get cards, because a card a year old is still good for gaming.
But then they still have to keep the assembly line open for 2 different cards.
No, I know. I said, this isn't a fully thought out idea. I'm just thinking like logistically, there has to be a solution here, right? Like,
well, their solution is they need to open up more factories.
Yeah.
Even if the miners are going to buy every single card that gets produced, right? That's just more money for your company. I don't understand this. When Apple came out with the AirPods, they didn't expect them to be as big of a hit as they were, right? And they were completely like destroyed by the amount of sales that was happening. They had to open up more, factory lines to build more AirPods. It's like, that's what you have to do. Yeah. It's like, I don't understand why this is.
You want to make more paper clips, you gotta get more scissors. Start fucking trimming, man.
If you have this massive demand, just feed it. Just keep feeding it.
Yeah. Like, there's literally no company out there that's like, oh man, we could be making
too
so
much money.
We're making, we could be making so much money, but you know what? I think are you good? Yeah. I think I'm good. How's your bonus this year? Was it good enough? Yeah, I think it was big enough, right? Yeah, I think we're good, actually. More money? No, thanks.
I can't reach the bottom of my pool with all these bills in it. Just, oh, fuck.
Oh, are you Scrooge McDuck in it?
Oh, fuck.
Man, I've always wanted to Scrooge McDuck it. Do you go in like with or without pants? Because I really like the feeling of the green bills on my grundle. I don't know about you.
Without pants, but then when you get out, you just put a towel around your waist, a Daffy Duck style, anyways.
Nice.
That money's probably dirty. I wouldn't want to go in their pants.
It's pretty good slime.
Oh, it's gonna be dirty after I'm done with it.
Yeah,
Is the demand indefinite?
probably.
I think that's probably what they're worried about. Is
Yeah.
that the as soon as they get their factory up and running,
Too much money.
it's they'll stop being a demand, right?
So what you're essentially saying is I'm never building a new PC.
No. What I'm saying, what I'm asking is the demand indefinite? So what I'm saying is like
because it did cool down when the 2000 series came out.
a lot though.
Yeah, because I got a card. You can walk into
that's
Canada
true.
Computers,
Actually,
and they had every single card there.
Dude,
I wish.
So
what about
Anyway.
what about like a 2060 though? Like, are those like the mid tier cars still available? Like, what's going on with those? Or the
let me just
30?
check
That's what I've got in my computer, and I built mine
2060s are
a
the
year
newer
and a
ones.
half
Or
ago.
3060s, I mean.
The 3060s are their current mid tier ones, right?
Yes,
are those being scooped too?
Probably.
I
I
think
think
so, yeah.
everything is.
they're
Everything, yeah.
They're being used as like stands to hold up the other 3090s, so they can
So-
they
they're
they don't have to bend over to pick up the 3090s. That's what they're using them for.
Yeah.
On Newegg, they're going for around 1,000 for 2060s, which is what I paid for my
Fucking
20.
shit.
What
Jeez,
I
I
paid
should
for my
sell my
2080.
You only paid $1,000 for your 2080.
Yeah,
I'm probably thinking 2080 Ti in my head.
yeah. It was just a 2080. It wasn't 2080 Ti.
This is a mess. Best thing
yeah.
I ever did was just buy laptops. Use it. If it breaks, get it fixed. And if I can't, get another one.
Well, you probably want to buy a pre-built if you want a 3000 series card.
Or that, yeah. Yeah, like same. It would be the same solution. Like obviously a laptop is pre-built. Yeah, same solution.
It's probably what I would do. Just go to Canada Computer, say pre-build me one.
It's kind of what I did.
Well, no, you had to buy a pre-built. They can't build you one because they don't have the card.
Yeah, they don't have the card there. You have to buy a pre-built like from like Lenovo or whoever.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna be using my PS5 then for a while. I'll just
Likely.
migrate back to that.
All right, that's all we got for you this week. Thanks for listening. You can find the Tim there
the me.
on the Twitch.
Find
on
the
Twitch.
Tim there.
You can find it right there. Yeah. If you enjoyed my inane rambling, be sure to catch many more hours of it every week on twitch.tv/yeah, that figures. Monday
And,
to Thursday.
Matt will be doing horrible things on our Twitch.
Oh my god.
What am I doing?
That sounds like
That sounds
illegal
really
when you
bad.
put it like that.
Yeah, we
No,
had to have a
you-
talk
you,
with HR.
You blew up that ship.
Oh yeah, in Sea of Thieves, I may or may
that
not
was so
have.
mean.
I may or may not
Oh
have
my
murdered a crew of people. It was
Adriano was like, no, don't do that, and then immediately was like, well, you know what? Actually,
Let me record this.
let me record this. He had a very quick dichotomy of morality in like 50 milliseconds.
They were the nicest people I've ever met on Sea of Thieves.
They
They were
They
so
they
nice. They were
gave-
like,
they
we
gave
don't
us
want to die.
treasure.
Here, just take
Yeah.
our treasure.
They said, "Give us treasure, just don't bother us." And then I just watched this speck across my screen just swim.
and you're
over
like,
with
Matt, don't. At least let me record this.
Man, I wasn't even nearby. Like Adriano was on the dock or something, and I was like off in the jungle, and I ran back, and I was like, no, and I
Just-
see your name slowly moving towards their ship,
it.
and then moving away from their ship, and then I just see their ship rock to the side,
I
hear, and I was like,
Right.
no.
Right, I open up a text chat with them and I go, "We don't know that guy. He's
Yeah.
not with us."
And then they pull up next to us on like a little dinghy, and they had like their treasure on the dinghy, and they were like, "Here, just take the treasure. Like, we
Treasure.
want to join your crew now." And then Matt pulls up next to them on the dinghy and throws a fucking gunpowder barrel down on the dinghy too. Blows two more of them sky high.
Yeah, I blew up their lifeboat afterwards. We stole all their loot, and then Adriano like physically killed them because they joined our crew.
But they said they were trying to figure out a way.
You did kill them though.
Yeah, but they
Yeah, they were
said,
like, "How do we
"Hey,
get back to our
back
ship?"
to our ship?" They said, "Okay, how about I shoot you?" Then they were trying to figure out like a way to get themselves all back to the ship. So I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll just make it easy." And I
Yeah,
pulled
he's
out my
just like,
weapon.
"I got this," and he
Yeah.
fucking blows him away.
Done.
So
Get off
you
my
can-
ship, kids. Go somewhere else.
Well, if you want
Those,
entertainment like
uh,
that,
can catch those shenanigans at twitch.tv/day1patchmedia.
Hell yeah.
I wish I wasn't a part of it.
Oh, jeez.
I had to go take
we'll see
like 3
ya.
showers after that.
Oh,
Oh god.
Wash the
We'll
guilt
see
away.
you next time.
peace.